Hello, and welcome to episode 2 of my Western Pennsylvania Amusement Park news series. This week, we don't really have that much information to go over, but there's just some information I wanted to go more in depth about that I had briefly mentioned last week, and some new speculation about Conneaut Lake Park that a lot of news sources seem to have. The first news that I want to go over is from Conneaut Lake Park. Now, we have no confirmation of this at all. However, some news sources are stating that Blue Streak will not be opening in 2021. They also do not have any operating calendar on their website for the 2021 season. The park has not at all said anything, though, about them not being open in 2021, and they have not said anything about Blue Streak. They said before that they are looking into rides that might be dangerous currently to make them completely safe, and that Tumblebug will be shut down for 2021. However, they have not said on Facebook, their website, or their Instagram that they will be shutting down Blue Streak. Now, the other news I wanted to go over is just going more in depth about some news I had brought up last week but didn't really go in depth about. Last week, I had mentioned how Kennywood has updated their scheduled operations page. However, I did not really go over what was changed there. I had mentioned that Skyrocket is no longer under the modified operations page, and I had mentioned that Johnny Rockets is no longer under modified operations. I had mentioned that Parkside Cafe is no longer closed until further notice, and I mentioned that Steel Curtain and Black Widow are no longer closed until further notice. However, there is a lot more information on that page that I should go over. Under Closed Until Further Notice, they have Sky Coaster, Noah's Ark, 40 Theater, Big Adventures Play Zone, and Steelers Experience Building. These are all indoor attractions except for Sky Coaster. Sky Coaster, for it to run the best, you'd need at least 2 people, and there's no social distancing there at all, so it would just be hard to run during COVID. But Noah's Ark, it would be hard to enforce social distancing there because it's a walkthrough attraction. The 40 Theater, it's in 15-minute intervals or more. So you're going to be exposed to more people, especially considering that it's got a pretty high capacity so that the lines can actually move, and it's air conditioned. Then there's the Steelers Experience Building. This building has not opened at all. It was supposed to open with the Steelers Country area in 2019. However, the Steelers Experience Building was still under construction at that point. There weren't the things that they needed to open it. So the only part of it that ever opened, there was a bathroom there that opened and a gift shop that opened, but that was it. It is the only part of Steelers Experience that has yet to, or it's the only part of Steelers Country that is yet to open at all. Now, still under modified operations are Ghostwood Estate and paddle boats. Ghostwood Estate, it says, may not be using the blasters. This is probably because of just COVID-19 and trying to reduce touch points. They didn't run the blasters in 2020, but considering that it says the blasters only may not be in use, considering that they have may instead of just not be in use, that makes me think that the blasters could be used early into the season. Then there's the paddle boats. They have had those with modified operations from 1 to 5 p.m. on Saturdays and Sundays only since like mid-2020. It's just to make the most money they can from that, I believe. Now, some notable things that weren't on this page, though. In 2020, Johnny Rockets was under modified operations for takeout only. You weren't allowed to eat in Johnny Rockets, Most of the tables were closed, and the only reason that you'd be allowed to really sit down would be if you were waiting for your food to be done. Also, End Zone Cafe and Parkside Cafe aren't on there. Those were both closed. End Zone Cafe, it makes sense that it was closed. It's an air-conditioned building, and people only really went there because of Steel Curtain being right there. And it had some other things that other places had at the park. You could really get anything that would be served there from most other places in the park. So it didn't really make sense to open it, since the only reason people would really go to it would be because it's right by Steel Curtain. But Steel Curtain and End Zone Cafe are both not on the lists. So that seems to mean that they will be open in 2021. And then there's Parkside Cafe, which did not open for most of 2021. It was open on the first season pass holder preview day before shutting down. Apparently, it was used as extra space for employee meals, so they could socially distance better. Apparently, the employees' dining area is very small, and it's built on top of Parkside Cafe. So Parkside Cafe was just shut down because it's an air-conditioned building. People could more easily spread COVID-19, but also there needed to be a space for employees to eat their meals. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Please consider subscribing. Tell me what you think of the video. Uh, if you like it, then leave a like. And please check out some of my other videos and some of my articles. My website has a link in my About page, and you can find all my videos just on the channel. Hope you enjoyed, and goodbye.